Alright y'all, got a garbage disposal I'm about to replace. Garbage disposal is not working correctly. It spins, but the screw came loose, so the blade will sit still while the motor turns. So it's spinning, but it's not spinning the blade. And I have to change it because the bolt came loose basically. And by the water not being able to move, around the way it's supposed to, it's backing up where you use the little hand sprayer. It's coming out of there, it's getting on my counter, and it's really causing a lot of problems. So I'm gonna attempt to replace it, and I hope I can just take the ring off up there and not have to change the gasket inside the sink. Garbage disposal that I have to replace it, I got it from Lowe's, and it's going to be called the Waste King. It's 1/2 amp. If you want to see a picture of it, that's what it looks like. Alright, comes with a 2-year warranty. It's the model L101. I got it for about 50 bucks. And right here I got a this is a Sears model garbage disposal, but it's a Kenmore, but it's got a Sears Roebuck stamp on it right there. So that's what we got. So let's get started. So the first thing I gotta do, I guess, start loosening everything up. Now I got a bucket underneath, help catch the water, and I gotta start taking everything loose and see what we got. So I'm gonna take this off and then try to turn this and then take that off and drain any water that's already in there, or might leak. See if I can do a little bit better than that. It's kind of hard to get up under the sink, but pull that off, loosen that up. Now I got to get this one right here and get this one off. So that one's probably gonna have to be off with a nut or some kind of wrench. There we go. Take this off, loosen that up. Alright, so that's pretty much going where I wanted to go. Make sure the power is off when you do this as well. Turn the power off to the disposal. It's just a switch. You switch it on, it comes on. Switch it off, it comes off. Hopefully that shut the power off to it. Or I could be in a little bit of a rude awakening here. But yeah, make sure your power's off. Take this bolt off here, and then I got another piece there, and I'm gonna see what's under there, underneath that cap, and loosen that up. Alright y'all, so I got the power off. I got the power disconnected. There go my wires right there. Got common, neutral, ground. You got this one had common, neutral, and ground. That's it. It's disconnected. So now I'm gonna see if I can get this thing out of here. Start loosening it up top. Alright y'all, so let's see how we get this thing out of here. Alright. didn't have nothing in it because it would have spilled everywhere and dropped right out of my hands. What you see here, see a whole bunch of garbage right there? It's like stopped up. It's got all kind of stuff in there. Looks nasty. It wasn't, things wasn't right. So I'll pull it out of there and let's go outside and inspect it. See what we got. Just wanted to point out that on mine that I bought, you see the screw right there holding the blade. But on this one, I don't know if you can see that, but the screw is gone. So that's why I'm replacing it. Alright, so now I take this piece here. You take this piece, and it's got that little lip that's underneath. And you kind of make sure that that lip touches underneath the lip that's inside here. And you push that down and make that come all the way through. And then you got to work with it a little bit. It's supposed to be like this, I suppose. Alright, so work it around here. Don't turn it too much. Maybe that's the only turn you need, just to have it in there. I don't know, but I turned it. Alright y'all, so I was under the impression that I could reuse the mount up here that that the old disposal had mounted to it, and reuse this ring. But the older garbage disposals were a lot heavier duty than the ones that are here. So this one's going to be held up there by a gasket, not metal, just a gasket housing going all the way through. So it's going to be a real thrill to see how that's going to work. But I got to take the whole thing off, and I don't have any putty, so I'm going to use this stuff, right? This is a gasket maker for water pump thermostat housing. If it can hold a water pump and a thermostat on a car, then I'm sure it can hold a little bit of sink water, so at a lower pressure, a whole lot lower pressure. So I'm not running all the way to low, so this ain't gonna get done today. So we're gonna try this. I'll keep the bucket underneath the sink for a while to see what happens, and I'm serious about it. Alright, so this garbage disposal piece that you see here was built into the sink. It even had the name Kenmore on this piece right here. So it was like built into it. So I had to literally bend and pull it through that hole without damaging the hole to get this off. So if you run into that, you know, you're gonna have to improvise or whatever, because it all got to come out of there. And you know, when I first seen it, I was in shock, but you know, there's no other way. So if you run into that, that's the problem. So I'm here, and I'm still working on my sink, and we got a little bit of light here, a little bit of stuff in the sink, but I got a bucket down there to catch anything that goes into the sink, right? And right now, I went to the store and got the putty that goes in here, and the way they got it is they got it kind of in order here, where you got the top silver piece here. The way that I got the old silver piece out was I literally had to take a pair of pliers, like channel locks, and like bend it and push it down in the hole, or pull it out of the hole. I had to bend it up to get it out. That's the only way I could have got it out. So I didn't have the camera on, but imagine this being in the sink and this being at the bottom of the sink. So I had to bend this up and push it through that hole, because this was all built together. It was built with the sink. The garbage disposal, you know, they just dropped it in there. It didn't come out. So Anyway, that's the way it was. But now we're on to something new. So I got the putty, I got this, and it's pretty much in order for me to put this up there. So I'm going to screw the first layer off and be sure to put these in order it should go. So I'm going to start with this piece, right? I'm going to sit that in there. That's the piece that's going to sit in there on top of the stainless steel part. And I got the putty. So what I'm going to do with the putty is take the putty out right here and get a little bit more light so you can see. Alright, so I'm going to take the putty and kind of grab some of the putty. I wish I had a way to preserve this stuff, but if you don't use it in a while it kind of dries up. So I'm going to grab about this much. I'm going to roll it into a bead. And I'll take it and kind of just roll it into a bead. And just kind of place it around the sink. This is too much. Make it look like a worm. Probably about 7. That's about long enough right there. And then just pull it off. And then you guys can see it, right? Okay. So I'll work it around the sink. Kind of mash it down. I'm going to move out the way in a second. I've just got to get it in there so it doesn't fall through the sink. Alright, there we go. So, kind of work it around. On one sink. I don't even think a contractor uses this much before it dries up again. Alright, so that's up there. Stick this in there. It's going to be tightened down, of course. Whatever's left over is going to press around the edge or whatever. And then we got to go underneath the sink and get to underneath. And that's it. Alright y'all, so as you see the things aren't exactly lining up here, right, with the garbage disposal. So it's just not lining up. So I'm going to try to loosen up some stuff so I can kind of get some more, so I can kind of push this up, because this isn't going to move. This is pretty much on there. It's gonna agitate, and hopefully this don't fall out the hole, because I ain't like the way it's set in there with that plastic piece. And it's only got a gasket with a groove, so when you turn it, it holds it. This whole thing is held by a gasket to the bottom of that boot. So it's not like the other one where it was a metal ring and another big metal ring that turned, and that thing was just not going nowhere. This one moves a little bit. And I had to go to Lowe's because, I mean, this is what they give you. And it's not even the pieces on the side. And why is this pointing down like this? With the gasket, this is the gasket, and it's got to go up there to the top. And I push it all the way up there, but then it's going to be turned around like this, facing down. So that's cool if you're just going straight into the drain and you're going from, you don't have two sides to your sink. But what I did was I went ahead and bought a shorter piece. I'm about to show you, I apologize, because you might do this and think, you know, but I bought a shorter piece. I'm going to stick in there and try to somehow push this up. But I have to loosen all the joints back there to make sure I don't crack nothing, especially that stuff back there. So this is going to be interesting. But we'll see what happens. Alright, so I had to finagle the hose. I thought it was too short at first, but I ended up cutting just the right piece. Put it in there, tighten this up, tighten the bushing in there, and tighten this back up. And I had to loosen this one up a little bit. I believe I had to mess with this one too. So I had to loosen up everything to cut one. It's slightly slanted down, but you don't even notice it. You want to turn the water on. Got no leaks. So boom, now I'm gonna hook the power up, run the disposal and see what we got. The main thing, I don't have any leaks, so it's a good thing. Alright, so I've put everything back together. I've hooked up the electronics. I'm tightening up the bolt at the bottom to keep the electronics in there. And it doesn't sound like, you know, it's not that loud, but that's a good thing, right? But it does seem to do the job, so I think I can work with it. All the wires are inside here. No wires sticking out nowhere. It's inside the casing, and it's got the reset button there. It's cute, you know. Seems like it'll work. There's no leaks, so that's pretty much it. So now I'll show y'all the garbage disposal. There it is right there. Oh. There's the garbage disposal. Run some water in there. Hit the switch. There it is. I just installed the Waste Master, or whatever it is, garbage disposal from Lowe's. I'm out. And that concludes my video for the Waste King garbage disposal, 1/2 amp garbage disposal from Lowe's. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Grind Time Media, I'm out.